any platform possible here. So hopefully you can all hear me now. All right. Hello, Brandon. Hope you're well, buddy. Kenny Carter. Any questions? Fire them away, lads. We're doing a little bit of a Q&A time. Want to know what your thoughts are. What questions you have. Nappers, hope you're well. Doing a little bit of a Q&A. Obviously, keep it... Hi, Nappers. How are you, Brandon? You missing the football? Who's on the coaching? We've been answering a few questions, but no one could hear us on Facebook, but I've sorted that out now. So we're all good. I've got a few questions that we've been emailed in. Obviously, I'm on loads of different platforms here, so we got, I'll take any questions about the netball department, about the goalkeeping, football, dance, anything. Obviously, you can see at the moment it's a time for us to all sort of come together. But yeah. First question. What grade is your back and sides? This was a naught. It's growing back quick. It was done by a professional barber called Kris Hatton, my brother. And he just basically shaved it all the way up to the top. That's the grade. Are you going to play more than 10 minutes a game on a Sunday next season? Depends. All depends. If the team need me, I'll step onto the pitch and I'll save the day. If they're fine without me, then so be it. So, anyone on YouTube that has a little question for me? Otherwise, I'll start going through these emails. I'll put a little email out there to try and get some questions. So, let us know. I can start working through those. Hello, Connor. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So I'm looking at like 3 cameras there, which is all good. Nice. You waved it, Connor. Yes, I did. Right, so I'm going to start working through some of these questions that people sent through, and if you've got any live ones, then just fire them away at me. Oi, Birchie. Birchie loves a shout out. So you should be able to hear me now on Facebook. Birchie, can you hear me? You were struggling to hear me earlier. All right. Right, going over to the questions that were emailed in. This one was quite nice because they were giving us a compliment. You've done brilliantly on Facebook, YouTube with all your live videos. How hard has it been to get this in place? Which is a very good question, actually. So, with regards to that, we acted very quickly to try and provide a service that would help people, and getting everything put in place for the YouTube and the Facebook live sessions. It has been a bit of a challenge, but we've set up our new studio, so I've had to change around all the office and put things into place for that, and. Yeah, I mean, we've just been getting a great response, and all we want to do, and what we always want to do, is to provide a great service for people, and hopefully we can affect them in some way. So, it has been a bit difficult, but technology is something that I'm not too bad with, to be honest. So, it's been a bit of a challenge, but we got there, and if anything, this has opened more doors to potentially a lot of other things that we can do. So I saw Andy Napper's question there. What does Complete have in store for the post-lockdown? Well, there's a fair few ideas that are being thrown around at the moment. I think the biggest thing is, especially with regards to the football side of stuff, is getting things up and running nice and quickly. So, I have a few plans to try and make that happen in a local area. And with regards to our online content, that will go, to a completely different level post-lockdown, 100%. Oh, okay. Besides winning the league, what are your top 3 moments for the academy? Apart from winning the league, okay, yeah, there's been plenty, to be honest. I think it's tough actually because, you know, I love the exit stories. I love how people are getting on once they've left. So hearing feedback from the boys that are either, you know, gone into apprenticeships, gone into local jobs, gone abroad, you know, hearing the feedback from them lads doing so well. That's, you know, that's always a top moment for me. I think I don't know if you were involved with this one actually, but we went and for the 5 years we've been running, I think for about 3 of those years we always used to get absolutely smashed by JMA, and then we went over there. I think it was last year, could have been the year before. I think it was last year, and we went over there and we just turned them over, and it was a great moment because it was like you could sort of see how far we'd come, and then not necessarily winning the league this year, but being undefeated at home was amazing. So yeah. Next question was, what made you... well, this was quite hard. So it wasn't really that hard, but what made you choose Megan for Coach of the Year? So the reason why we chose Megan for Coach of the Year is because of the progressions and the development that she's had personally. You know, she's achieved her level 2 level 2 netball qualification, which is a tricky one to get. And, you know, she's always there. She's always at hand, ready to jump in if we ever need any cover. She's been very clever, being very creative, and obviously you can see all the stuff she's doing on social media at the moment. It's been brilliant. So yeah, she's fully deserved that Coach of the Year. So that's good. What else have we got on here? Oh, I've got a question on this is a tough one, on YouTube. So it's the best player to ever grace the lodge. Ooh, that's difficult. That's a tough one. Best player. So all-rounder. So physically, technically. That's a real tough question. For the college program, I'm going to name this too. I'm going to go college program, and then I'm going to go junior academy because we train at the lodge as well. It's tough. Brandon Eaton's worth a shout. Technically very good player. Very good player. When he first started with us, couldn't get around the pitch as freely as he wanted, but by the end of it, he was extremely fit and very influential. This year, Kieran can be very effective in games. Tyler was a very good striker. Mikey was a very good striker. You weren't a bad centre-half, Andy. Goalkeeping wise, we've had some great goalkeepers. It's very tough. Shout out to Shay. He was Ken just saying Shay is a shout. He was very influential. A lot of these players very good technically, physically. The mental side of the game was probably where they struggled slightly. Who else is there? Some good boys this year. Alfie's up there with some great goals. With our junior academy setup, completely different. Like you just get some of these kids that sometimes you can be technically a very good player and you can dominate a game, but it's the potential and it's the mentality. So, for example, at the moment, I've got a little lad called Delaney that's in our program, and he's got that. From when I first saw some successful players come through, and I even remember like Harvey Elliott when he was like small, 6 years old, just wanted to get better the whole time, loved having a contact time with the ball, and that's the same. That's got to be the same as Delaney at the moment. He's doing exceptionally well. So, here comes who else? We've got a young lad in our under 12s called Zahir. He's a very good technical player, always willing to listen, learn, and get better. Yes, Thomas, you can let your brother know. I just put him forward, and I know Andy's just said there, Josh has got to be up there. Josh was a very, very, very good player. To be fair, Josh Rowe. He was spotted by Chelsea when they came down and watched him. So that was good. Got another question here. What are the characteristics for a good coach? You got to be selfless at times. Yeah, you got to be very selfless at times, and you got to be able to communicate well. You got to be able to adapt well to different situations. So, what else would you? What else? I think you got to be proactive as well, and you just got to be willing to get out there and have a open mind. And yeah, there's many different attributes that you will need. Many, many, many. Right, let's go over to Facebook, see what they're saying. Right, YouTube. Yeah, just to answer that question, I think, Andy, yeah, Josh has got to be up there. He was a very good player. Very good. Right, let's go back over to the email questions and see what they're saying. Difficult one, tough one. Where do you see complete in 10 years' time? Difficult question to answer, to be honest. I'm never really one of those that would say, oh, this is my dream in 10 years' time, or this is where I see us going in 10 years' time. I think it's more just take each day as it comes, really. So, for example, with that, be planning tomorrow, and who can take into account these difficult times at the moment, to be fair. And we've reacted really well to these, and I definitely think it's opened up a whole new sort of kettle of areas that we can go, really. So yeah, so 10 years time, I think we're quite established at Frimley Lodge at the moment, but I think I would like to potentially, a dream would obviously be to have our own very own facility. That would be something that I would love to do, love to have going forward. It's a good dream of mine. That's not very pleasant, is it? Danny G9838. Always get a keyboard warrior around here, guys. Don't worry about that. Hide behind a name. Right, moving over to the emails. Let's see, what other question do I want to answer? Pretty much covered that one, to be fair. Oh, that's not a bit interesting one. What's your favourite? You need some milk. Don't know what that means. What is your favourite area of working in Complete? So that's quite difficult, really. I'm quite fortunate. I work in the office at times, or I work in schools at times, or I work down at the academy at times. I have a very strong passion for working in schools. I do like working, and I do like the PE lessons that we run, or the after school clubs, and I love seeing the kids when they come in at like year 1 or year 3 and they go all the way through to year 6, and then they move on for their next journey. And some of the proudest moments we've had is kids that I've worked with in year 5 and 6 gone through secondary school, and then they've come and joined us in our full-time college program. I think that's been it's pretty good. It's a good feeling for us that we've sort of gone through them, and that's why in all programs that we do right now, we really want to develop the 13s to 16s to try and see where we can progress them even further. So, yeah. I do like working in the schools though. I would say school stuff, college stuff. You know, I don't say I particularly enjoy the office side of stuff, but it breaks the day up and it's a different routine. So yeah. Let's see. Any other questions on there? No. Danny G's got bored, so he's gone. The jealous man. Right, so we've done that one. We'll answer a few more because then we've got to go live at 4:30. So what else should we go for? Pretty much answered that one. Pretty much answered that one. Sort of done a bit on that one really. Oh, question on Instagram. Best player to coach? You know, it depends really. You know, the younger age groups, they, you know, very much listen and they're very much sponges and they want to listen and learn and get better. Even though, like, you think like the 13s, 14s, 15s, they might be at that difficult age, but my 14s are fantastic, to be honest. Great bunch of people to coach. There's one in particular I like, easiest type of player to coach. Just one that's willing to learn and listen and get better, really. Someone said, who's the only person to play in goal this season on a Sunday and keep a clean sheet? I think that's me, isn't it? Me and you. Oh no, I think we conceded two. Yeah, I think Thomas, one that's willing to listen and learn and get better, really. Try and not be a defeatist and keep working hard. So yeah, any other questions firing in? Let's have a little look. Ooh. Who is someone who didn't reach the heights you thought they'd reach? A few years back, especially with the college program, we had a couple of players that I thought were very gifted and you know, had a lot of ability, and some people would say talented, but I don't really like the word talented. But I always used to rate Jack Hogan, thought he was a good player, but mentally, once again, situations might have got a little bit heated or something, and then all of a sudden his head would go. Someone who didn't reach the heights you thought they'd reach, he would possibly be one of them. I think Shay could be thrown into that one as well. You know, it's hard, like other commitments in life have happened around people and they haven't quite got to their, you know, where they could go. And I think he could have really pushed on because he had that sort of fighting spirit on the pitch. I do believe Ben Hampton could definitely push higher. All right, I think there's sometimes a little bit of laziness in that man, but he could definitely push to play a higher level of football. He's got great attributes and he communicates well. He's a good leader. So yeah, I think Ben could definitely push a little bit higher with regards to the potential that he could reach. Maybe even Tyler, throw Tyler in there for the college ones. You know, he had an opportunity at Fulham, and then got knocked back by America, but you know, that shouldn't really stop him, really, to be honest with you. But great question, Andy. Just keep them coming. I'm just going to answer your questions. You've got good questions. Now I've got like one more left on the email one, but I'll take any others that anyone might have. Any on the old? Not on there. Let's have a look. funny question that I got through, and I think this might have been one of our Netball Academy players, is football or netball? Well, for me, football, but I'm not sure if you spoke to Katie or if you spoke to Katie or you spoke to Megan, they would disagree and they'd push the netball side of it. But I think that might have been Katie to send that over to me to start a debate. Who's the best coach? Someone's put. All coaches have great attributes, and I think what I love about Rich is knowledge, understanding, background, you know, his experiences that he's had, how he relays that to the kids, and, you know, he's a senior figure in Complete, so he does bring all of those attributes to it. Rufus, he's obviously also got the experience, and, you know, he sort of brings in that winning factor for us. You know, really, you know, what it takes to win the game, which is what the boys love. You know, Sai's got his eyes set on the goalkeeping side of stuff, which is, you know, his area. And Dexter, you know, he's great at breaking down certain things and putting things into logical orders. Lee's an up-and-coming coach that's in a great position to learn from all of us. So yeah, there's quite a few out there, but it's not really about being the best coach. It's more about being the best you can be as a coach. So, you know, it's not a competition for our coaches to try and be better than the other one, but just to be the best that you can be, and that's what it's all about. You know, becoming your best. Who's the best video creator at Complete? Callum does a great job. I'm not too bad at it. I quite enjoy it. What's the one bit of advice what is the one bit of advice you was given in life that motivates you and pushed you to achieve higher? I was in a situation where I was at college and I was pretty much told that I wasn't good enough at what I was studying for, which didn't really sit too well for me. So I wanted to go away and I wanted to prove to myself and to other people at the time that I could be better than what they say. And after that's been my motivation from that day, and then now I am my biggest competitors are those people that turn me down. So that's been my motivation really. And now I've gone away from worrying about anything else, anyone, and just focusing on what we're doing, creating the best sort of environment for it. Why do you think our Netball Academy is different from others? Good question. Our Netball Academy is different from others because we have coaches that believe in our philosophy, our vision, and I'm not going to say we have the best coaches, but we have coaches that are always striving to be the best that they can be. They have an understanding of player development, player progressions, and they're always there to do anything they can to try and help. And don't get me wrong, with regards to the netball, we have a group of coaches that have technical, tactical, an enormous knowledge of netball, which they've done exceptionally well with. And because from the outside, people will see us having, let's say, the best coaches, you know, we've really made a name for ourselves with our netball program, and that's, you know, that's been going nearly as long as Complete has been going. You know, they've been there pretty much from day one, so it's taken a long time. And, you know, the work that Katie, Megan, Emma, that are all doing at the moment with the Netball Academy is brilliant. It's magnificent. Oh, it says, would you ever branch out to make another Complete? So obviously going into different areas and stuff like that. Very, very good question. Now, I think it's not because I want to just have a hold of everything, but I think the only issues that you have when you're franchising something is you don't necessarily know if the coaches or the people that are running it, directors, whatever, have the same vision and idea, and I know you can put that into a package and you can give it to somebody, but to follow what we're doing now, to replicate somewhere else would be great, but you really have to be conscious about who's going in and who's doing it. I think if I was to do it, if I was to push out into other areas, I wouldn't necessarily go right on my doorstep and put one in Aldershot or put one in Farnham. You know, I'd probably broaden my horizons and go a little bit further with it. So there is a possibility there. I don't have any intentions of it now. I just want to make sure what we got now is the best that we can, the best that we have, and the best that we can be, really, within this area. And you know, we've still got a lot more building to go. You know, we've laid down some good foundations. We've started to build, but who knows how high this building's going to be. Top 3 prospects you know right now. I think it would be unfair for me to say, because obviously we have dancers, we have netballers, we have footballers, we have goalkeepers, and I'm sure the other coaches would have an idea of what they, you know, their input for it. It's hard because there's so many gifted people out there and people that, you know, are very effective at what they do, but mentality and, you know, the mental side of the game needs to be improved for them to push further. So right now, though, if I'm looking at the college program, the college side of stuff, you know, I speak very highly of Alfie to him. He needs to push himself even further. You know, we've had some great performances this year. Ryan adding into the team, Ben Glasser, you know, done very well. We've got a number of year 2s that have done exceptionally well this year, and year 3s as well. So it's a difficult question because it would just be from what I do, from what I coach and stuff like that. So difficult one. Right, have I got any other questions, or am I going to wrap it up there? Anyone got anything else to add? With regards to your question, Ken, what is the best bit of advice? I think for anyone, I think, you know, obviously you can see on this feed here, you've got some people out there that just constantly want to try and, you know, keyboard warriors that want to try and put you down. People like that won't affect me one bit. One bit at all. I'm moving, all right? At the moment, they're standing still because they're sitting there and they're not typing anything productive. So don't be worried about the negativity that surrounds you. Focus on the positivity and the positive things. Thanks, people.